Okay, so um, welcome back again. But this time I just talk about the methodology on how do we conduct the needs assessment. The needs assessment can be conducted by using any research methodology, but it will help you to develop a good plans, a good plans for the project. What you'll see is you will have to apply research techniques in order to dig out the need. And if you have very good background in research, then you can easily identify the needs. Um, the normal technique that you'll find yourself using, it ranges from observation. When you're talking of observations, is you may visit a particular area depending on the issues that you are investigating. You may observe people, situation, the current situation, and make a comparison with the future. So you develop analysis what you have observed. If you're observing about maybe a poverty situation, you will have to assess it properly from the observation point of view. You can look at the housing, you can look at the income, you can look at clothing, you can look at, different angle through observations. So you have to observe who is really a poor person in that area. You can use questionnaire just like the way we do under research. You can use your questionnaire to develop analysis regarding the need, and you use your normal technique. So I don't need to define much. And if you want to know more, you will need to go for your research skills that you have. And also you will have to apply interview interview you can organize interview with the key people. You can apply interview, and also you can apply group focus discussion groups. Group focus, meaning that you will have to divide. You will have to get different types of groups that needs to be engaged at a time for discussion. You can have youth groups. You can have women groups. You can have uh, children groups. You can have uh, maybe poor people group. You can have religious groups. You can have professional groups. You can have different types of group that you think are relevant for planning. So, um, and any other methods that you find it useful during your needs assessment, you may apply. As I said, this is very similar. The technique that you'll have to use is also very similar to what we are talking about right here, is the research. In some cases, you may find yourself applying documentary documentation. So you need not documentary. You need to go and find out the secondary data, the secondary information. Read about the documents. Then you can assess the need based on the documented documents that you have in the area. So you will find out all the secondary data, secondary information that has been prepared in that area or district or a village or a ward. So you will have to assess the need based on the statistics and the documentary that you will have. Um, of course, when you apply different techniques, you should also be aware that each technique has an advantage and a disadvantages. When you apply observation, you should also know there are advantages and disadvantages. When you apply questionnaire, there are also advantages and disadvantages. Apart from saying questionnaire might not be very expensive, but the only problem is it requires time and also possible low returns rates. Response may be very low and lack of much details and so on. Those are disadvantages. So each methods that you think you will have to apply, it has some advantages and disadvantages. For example, for the interview, it might be a good, but it is also time consuming. And also it is difficult to analyze. So if you get much time to do your interview, might be good, but remember, it is time consuming. So which one is useful for yourself? And focus groups, you may find it is useful, but again, it's very good, but it is also time consuming in terms of organizing those meetings and preparing different dates and so on. So, and different technique that you apply, you should all understand there are advantages and disadvantages, of which again I said on here, in terms of methodology, you may apply your normal research skills. So depending on which one do you want, which direction you want to undertake. If you want to go for quantitative, then quantitative, you apply a different techniques, of which is important at the end of the day. And if it is qualitative again, those you'll have to apply observations, you'll have to apply uh, things like, as I said, interview, group focus discussions. And so those will be very much relevant to qualitative information, will give you qualitative information regarding the project. But if it is very much related to maybe you want to find out some data from secondary sources and develop the need, then you will have to apply a quantitative approach. You will need to get some secondary data. You'll need to establish the needs based on that one. When you have the secondary data will communicate to you by using different techniques. At the end of the day, you may establish the need. So you'll have to apply mathematical tool. You'll have to apply mathematical tool for you to develop the needs based on the statistics given to you. And that is very important. Now, those are the approaches that you may use yourself. These approaches are not limited, but there are so many you may apply to dig out the needs. It says, but the most crucial part of it is how do you come up with the issue itself, and how do you come up with the issue itself. For policy related project, yes, it's very much you can apply quantitative approach to develop the need, but for other community related projects that you need to hear from people, you need to know their problem, then it is important you use qualitative approach to find out data. So in here, you specialize yourself and focus at problem tree analysis. And when we talk about the problem tree analysis, this is the most important tool that people are using in developing the need. And the problem tree methods is just a simple way of drawing out the cause and effect relationship regarding a particular problems, regarding a particular situation. So that is the problem tree analysis approach. In drawing your problem tree, of course, you should understand you locate your causes at the lower level and also the effect at the upper level. That is just like the way we talk about the tree, on how the tree look like. So you will have to find out what are the causes for this problem. What are the effects? The effects, these are fruits. You shouldn't remember when you analyze the cause, you can easily get the root causes of the problem. And the effect is what you see. What are the fruits? For example, it might be HIV. HIV, maybe that is the core problem. So, what are the effects? People are dying, people are dying. So, most when you assess the need, you should not focus much in terms of effect, but we look at the causes. The causes, it is where now you can invest your project after assessing the need properly. Then you have to dig it down to find the root cause for that situation. And that is the need of which now you need to invest much time and resources must go into that one. And remember, these problems are not of your father. So problems do not start in isolation. It has some causes, it will have effects. So you need to know what are the causes, and also you need to know what is the problem. You need to know what are the effects. So this is very important. For example, you may have cause. You may have causes. For example, my cause is storage tank is empty. Storage tank is empty. Storage tank is empty. What is the problem? The problem is there is no water in the house. That's the problem. Everybody see that. What is the effect? There is no water for washing. There's no water for washing. That is the effect. So you will have to describe and analyze the problem so that you come out clearly with needs related to the community, related to the society. If people want a bridge construction, it should be coming from their priority. If people want schools, it should be coming from their priority. If people want road constructions, it should be coming from that need. If people want a marketplace, it should be coming from that one. And if people need a bus stand, it should be coming from that angle. So you assess the need. You assess the need by looking at the cause effect relationship and the problem itself. So you will know what are the root causes and what are the core problems you see, and what are the fruits. The fruits is what people look at. And you see, these are external, visible results. You see, these are the consequences of the problems. So these are the effects. You see, these are the effects. So you are looking at the consequences. You're looking at the issues that everybody see, the consequences of the problem. So if you analyze them in a form of tree, tree has has trunk, it has fruits, it has root causes. So if you organize them in a form of that and develop priorities based on that one, then you will have good plans to invest for your projects. Now, let us discuss the key contents for the needs assessments report, because when you are carrying out the needs assessment, you must produce a report. The general report will have the basic contents of the report, but these are the guidelines that will help you. You will have overview of the needs assessments and the background information. You provide background information and overview, and you'll also have uh, who are the key stakeholders being involved in the project. So we call it project partners being involved. So you need to analyze them. You need to describe the location of the project where you are conducting the needs assessment. You need also to develop the problem rationale. You see, what are the problem rationale? You need also to develop objective. What are the objectives? And also you need to develop sector analysis. You analyze the sector of which you find, if it is education sector, you analyze the education sector, and what are the sector priorities. You need also to analyze the sector priorities if it is the public project. And also you will need to describe the methods. What are the methods that are used to gather information? Describe it. And apart from the method, which methods you will have to apply. You need also to develop community participation, how the community has been participating into this exercise of identifying the needs, and what are the strengths and limitation of the needs assessments. You need to do that one. What are the key findings and community priorities? So when you prepare the key findings, you analyze the situation, you come up with some statistics that will justify the priorities. And this is very important, how the community identify priorities. Sometimes they may vote and say this should be number one, that should be number two. So they may go ahead and rank it. And based on the findings, you will need to do conclusion and provide recommendations for further steps that needs to be taken. And this is very important. So as I said, that you will need to look at whether the project is a non-profit making or the project is profit making. Are you developing for your organization? Are you developing for the public? Are you developing for the community themselves? So you'll find it is very important. It is very important for you to analyze from that particular point of view, and we will continue for next session. We will continue for next session.